And welcome to Weekly Profit Talk. As the name sounds like, we do this every single week, and we do this at 7:30 a.m. Pacific time, which is where we are today in the town of Ephrata, Washington. In fact, so we're coming to you live and mobile from mobile headquarters here. So, good morning, everyone. Welcome. We do, of course, do this at 8:30 Mountain Time and 10:30 Eastern Time each and every Wednesday. So. Um, the topic for this week is cash flow forecasting, your practices, crystal ball for growth. So let's go ahead and get started. Now, what if you knew with a reasonable certainty that where your cash was going to be in 90 days? Would that be helpful to you? Absolutely, right? So let's go ahead and we're going to talk about that a little bit. Um, Cash, of course, is the lifeblood of any business. It's basically the hemoglobin that carries the oxygen of your business throughout, if you will, the bloodstream of commerce. So, um, cash is one of the three things that's measured by the Holy Trinity of financial statements. Of course, that being the statement of cash flows, as well as the profit and loss statement in your balance sheet. Cash is king, as they say, and you've got to have to pay the bills, basically. So, um, let's talk about what this means. Flying blind really is no longer an option. Let's go ahead and get my handy dandy little screen up for you here. Okay. Sorry. There we go. Okay. Excellent. So if you knew what your cash was going to be in 30, 60, or 90 days, and you were no longer guessing or basically playing the game of looking at your checking account and say, oh, there's a balance, I can spend money, danger, warning, don't do that. Okay. Essentially, if you're able to forecast your cash, and it's quite possible with good business advisory guidance, then you can make sound business decisions, not only with your monthly overheads that you come to expect, but capital investments coming forward in the future. And you know what I mean when I say that. We're talking about the kind of things like you might want to put a piece of diagnostic equipment in your office to um, keep from sending stuff out and paying a third-party vendor for it. Also for the convenience and speed of diagnoses of your patients. So um, there are things that you can avoid by having this sort of information. As you can see here, um, you could be missing opportunities because you didn't know you actually had the cash to afford it. And of course, there's no substitute for a good night's sleep. Wondering if you're going to make payroll. That's not a thing to be thinking about in bed. You should be thinking about nothing, essentially. I can talk about that at another time, but and credit lines, of course. Debt leverage is one of the three major ways to raise capital, but it's by and far the worst if you have alternatives because you're going to owe somebody additional money on that debt in the form of interest. So, um, of course, we never want to be paying your staff is basically your human capital, and you never want to leave them short. And of course, I mean, you're a physician, right? You should know that personal stress is never going to be good for anybody. So it is all preventable. Let's see here. If you are able to forecast your financial position from 30 to 90 days, it empowers your decisions and eliminates surprises, just like it says there, because that's true. Okay. Uh, Forecasting shows you exactly what you can afford and when. Uh, and by the way, the timing, if you don't think the timing of investments is important, uh, one of the big things is they are wrangling over a new bill in Congress, and it's going to have an effect on business people. Uh, Big thing is, I believe that 100% bonus depreciation is coming back. So um, if you need something for your practice and you put it into service this year, I think you're looking at regular double declining balance depreciation or a 20% bonus depreciation options. If you can hold off until January, assuming this is all going to pass the way it looks like it's going to happen, You may be able to write off all or most of that. Of course, that's subject to certain things such as income qualification and how much money you make in an actual year determines also a ceiling of how much depreciation you can take as well. But uh, there may be greater options ahead in 2026 is what I'm saying. So let's talk about the science of tracking in, out, and into the future. Um, your inflows are, of course, your revenues and your claims payables, receivables, excuse me, insurance reimbursements, other revenue streams. You may actually have pharma or other products that you're able to pass on to your patients, as well as the services you provide them in the form of your expert care. So, outflows, payroll, and benefits are, of course, big ones. For most medical practices that have more than two people, payroll is probably the largest expense. And it's super important because these are the people that are basically holding you up in the foundation of your reputation. Of course, you need a plant to do your thing in, supplies, equipment. Taxes are another big one. And of course, I put owner draws down here because you're going to want to enjoy some of the benefit of all the work that you're doing. So, talk about that more at another time as well. The science of taking good owner draws relative to the reasonable compensation you take, assuming that you're an S corporation. So, um, you can project forward using historical patterns, factoring in known changes, and building in safety margins as well. And when we say margins, basically, I'm talking about a division problem. So, if you, for example, take your net income and you divide that by your gross revenue, that's basically what's known as a profit margin. Perhaps you probably knew that. So, but there are other overhead margins as well, and it's good to know your ratios and track those month to month. I'm not suggesting that you do that yourself. If you're busy in your practice, between your healthcare services um, time, billable time, and supervisory. Perhaps you're even a mentor. Well, you certainly are if you have junior physicians under you. So um, we never suggest that you try to tackle being a bookkeeper and accounting expert. That's not what they taught you in med school. And that's what we're here for. So if there's any way that we can be a help, by the way, we are coming to you by One of Three Media, LinkedIn, as well as, of course, Facebook and YouTube. And all three of those have in common some sort of a comment section. So if you're watching this either live or on replay, um, hit that comment section with some kind of remark like help or more info or yes, please, anything that looks like you'd like us to reach out. And we'll turn around within 24 business hours and offer you an opportunity to talk to me directly. That first call is always free. So kind of discover if we're a good fit for you and if business advisory and CFO services are a good fit for you as well. So with that, we hope you're having an amazing day so far. And let me go ahead and do that. And do have an incredible rest of the week. Try to stay cool out there. We're one state away from Canada and it's over 90 up here. So I know we're going through a national heat wave right now, and you're a doctor. I don't have to say this, but stay cool and stay hydrated. So, but with all that, main thing is take good care of yourself. And if you have an opportunity to do this today or in the near future, do something randomly kind for a stranger. So with that, have a great rest of your day and an awesome 4th of July weekend. And we will see you next week at the same time. That is 8:30 Mountain, 7:30 Pacific, and 10:30 Eastern. And for you Chicago folks, that's 9:30.